Apple Watch, Fitbit, other devices that bring data to the consumer, the end user, in a way that they can act upon instantly. So for example, what if with your Apple Watch, were able to go into a car dealer, and as you're negotiating the price of a car, credit unions do a great job through a number of different products and services getting competitive car data and values to members up until the point that they walk through the doors of the dealership. So what if the Apple Watch, it's got a microphone, we're able to listen in on the negotiation. The credit union has got big data algorithms standing behind, are able to see what other deals their members have done at that dealership with that exact car, and using the Apple Watch are able to subtly tap on their member's wrist to say, you could get this dealer to lower their price. So this sounds wacky, this sounds out there, but it really is, it's a perfect example in our mind of the power of wearable technology and how you can connect those subtle, instantaneous feedback mechanisms to really help the member. Mobile channels, whether they be smartphones, tablets, other channels that we haven't yet identified or know about, they certainly are going to bring a new level of convenience to members. And it's important for credit unions to not dive blindly into kind of the new realm of mobile, to really understand what their field of membership wants, what maybe predict what their field of membership doesn't know they yet want and may want 5 years from now, and really align their channel investments and decisions with what the overarching strategy of the credit union is. It's not one or the other. It really is something that is dependent on each individual credit union strategy. The notion of ownership is changing, and we're seeing a lot of data, particularly with millennials, to indicate that their desire to own homes, their desire to own cars, isn't like it was for previous generations. And one of the particular areas that we see the potential for disruption is in the ownership of cars. So a great example, the Google self-driving car, right? It's in testing now. A number of states have passed laws to allow it for test purposes. I could foresee the time, maybe it's 10, 15 years out, where an individual member no longer needs to own a car. Because if you have the ability on your smartphone to dial up a Google self-driving car to take you to work, then to take your spouse to the grocery store, to take your kids to school, and then go off and do the same thing for a family 3 blocks down the road, the concept of ownership is no longer relevant. So an idea that we've been bouncing around is, if we get to this point, what if a credit union owned a fleet of 5,000 cars, self-driving cars, that it rented out to its members? So you no longer are loaning to one member, you're loaning in a collaborative fashion to your pool of your members. The way in which millennials relate to money, the way in which they relate to finances is quite different. And for a number of understandable reasons. Millennials can look back just a few years and see, for better or worse, oftentimes worse, the condition that their parents were put in due to the financial crisis. And they've seen the worst of what money can do or what it can't do. And they've seen that banks and traditional financial institutions, including credit unions, may not necessarily be the solution for them. In fact, there was research recently that indicated somewhere over 70% of millennials would rather see their dentist than listen to what their financial institution has to offer. So think about it that way. If we can't even compete with root canals, we've got some tough challenges ahead as institutions. So it really goes down to, how can we be relevant in a changing world? How can we be relevant for millennials to engage them not only with our products, but we see a huge opportunity for credit unions to engage millennials with their underlying philosophy of cooperative ownership, of fairly priced products and services, of being out there for the everyday consumer. A tremendous opportunity that goes beyond just a balance sheet product.